Hello. I couldn't sleep last night because this is so difficult for me to do, but it's necessary. I'm going to take some breaths for myself. So just deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. One more time, deep breath in and out. I wanted to come here. I got off Facebook a long time ago because I got wrapped up in what was going on in your world, and mine was overwhelming, so I got off of it. A lot has happened, so this is kind of a Christmas card in September to let all of you know, whoever listens to this, thank you for listening. This story that I'm saying is not for you, but for me to claim my story. I want to update you on what has happened, where I am now, and where I would like to be. So, my life has not been an easy one. I have a story of living with mental health crisis for myself and others my entire life. I feel like I've been fighting, or I have lived in fight or flight my entire life. Last year, March of last year, I had a profound spiritual experience. And I'm not going to go into details here on what that spiritual experience is, because that's just part of my story. But the story that I want to tell is my loss of reality, my psychosis, and my gaining my real reality. So March of last year, I went on a fantastic trip with my daughter, and I want to give a shout out to my beautiful daughter who encourages me every day and has forgiven me for not being the best. I was an unhealed person trying to do my best. Sorry, I'll get out of the light. Trying to do my best, but my best was not my best, because what I am now, I'm at my best. I am so unbelievably happy. And that does not mean that my life is perfect, that I just still don't have challenges, that I still don't have things come up. I just have more in my toolbox to be able to deal with those things. So going back to my story, so it's March of last year, going on a fantastic trip with my daughter. I come back and I get immersed in a spiritual experience. I can't tell you that this experience changed my life. And it also hurt people because they didn't have any clue what was going on with me. And as I was getting more into the spiritual experience, I was losing my reality. But if I'm being honest with you, I think I was fading away for a very long time. I think this spiritual experience just spurred me to finally lose it. So it's March 31st, 9 days into the spiritual experience. And I was taken away by a cop car. I was arrested, handcuffed, and brought to the hospital. They evaluated me, and in order to get help, you have to be harmful to others or harmful to yourself. You cannot get help unless you are going to hurt somebody. And I think our mental health society needs to change. So I'm arrested. I'm brought to Fond du Lac Mental Hospital. And I can tell you that I felt like I got a break. I felt like I finally did not have to worry about anybody else. I could just be concerned with myself. But mind you, I'm lost to reality. And I am not, having this experience and recognizing things that happen to you, you're like, yeah, I lost it. I totally lost it. So I'm in the mental hospital. I take 3 days break, just trying to recoup. I lost my husband. I lost my children. I lost my house. I lost any and all stability. I had no ties to the real world anymore. And it was incredibly lonely. I want to say, and I'm not scripted, I'm just telling you, from me to you, if you know me, you know that I don't come prepared for anything. I just kind of talk from the heart. But along this journey, I've hurt people by either walking away from them or people have walked away from me. I want to say to you, I'm sorry if I hurt you, but I had to do what was in my best interest to get where I am today. I wish all of you nothing but the best in life. And I just send my unconditional love to all of you. So going back to my story, now I'm in there, and they have these workshops. So they have these workshops to help people. And I have been through Master Reiki training. I have been to yoga class. I have been laid up 11 years. I have worked on my mind for a long time. And I never realized that I never really got it. Never. I was lost. I was lost in the sauce. So, kudos to Fond du Lac Mental Hospital, because they did a great job of retraining me. I have to say that I started from ground zero. I didn't know what I didn't know. And I'll share one of the workshops that kind of affected me a lot, because you have to build your house, and on the roof you put on there, who do you trust? I said no one. Like, you trust yourself. Like, you get yourself off the ground. You have to do everything yourself. And everybody in the class, who all have their own mental health issues, are looking at me and saying, I have support group. And in that moment, I realized from my childhood trauma that I've had to look after myself a very, very long time. I didn't have anyone that I felt supported me. So I had to learn from a young age to support myself. But that's what made me vulnerable to my psychosis, because the people closest to me couldn't tell me, hey, Mom, something's going on, you need help. I wouldn't have listened. I didn't trust anybody. Not even the ones that I love the most. So I went into the mental hospital room by myself and I cried. You were alone. And you're alone because you didn't do anything to change that. You went from one crisis to the next crisis to the next crisis, and you never really took care of yourself. Also, in this mental hospital, I realized I have child abandonment issues. So I have this profound sense of I need love from people. I need to do something for you in order to feel love for myself. And what I gained from that is, how is anybody listening to this gonna love me unless I love myself? And that's why I'm on here today, because for the first time in my life, I love me. I love me. And I want to give everybody watching right now love too. Thank you for coming and listening to me. I don't know how long I'm going to be, but I just want to, if I can tell my truth to the people that have known me, then I can tell my truth to anyone. I can feel safe in my story. And maybe you resonate with some of it. Maybe you resonate with a lot of it. And maybe you don't resonate with any of it. And that's okay. Nobody has to get my story but me. So back to the mental hospital. And one thing that I learned from this, which is, you basically lost reality. And one of the people said, well, how do you feel right now? I said, I feel powerful. I feel for the first time in my life, centered, focused, and then I'm really looking at myself. And I'm like, my God, you have to be in a mental hospital in order to feel powerful? Like, something's wrong with your world. So it's March 13th. And I am analyzed by 2 psychiatrists, and I pour my heart out. And I give the psychiatrist that was at Fond du Lac Mental Hospital a lot of credit, because he listened to my story. And I don't, by any stretch, think anybody is going to believe me. Like, somebody at the mental hospital said they saw a Yeti, and I was like, that's crazy, even though I went through my own experience. So I get it. Nobody has to understand my story or get it. I'm the only one who has to recognize, because, people have near-death experiences. I didn't die. My heart didn't go out, but I mentally went out. I left the building, and I have been coming back ever since. Stronger and better, more clear, having a lot more clarity. And that is with help. That is with help. But I'll get back to that. So we're March 13th, court case, everything. At this point, I was told from the professionals that my husband thought that I was going to kill him. That my children, I was a harm to my children. That is the only message that I got. I can tell you that in that moment, I felt abandoned. But I also have to say that every single thing, how horrific and horrible it was, is what I needed at that time. And again, any hurt that I caused my husband, my children, I can't make that hurt go away. I really can't. But what I can do is be the best version of myself every day. I've got more respect for my children by working on myself. Back to my story. Thank you for bearing with me. So I'm in there on my court case telling these psychiatrists what happened to me, and none of them believe me. Which, at the time I'm like, you're so lost in that reality that you start to disbelieve your story. You start to question yourself. You start to disbelieve. So I was forced on medication that I had to take against my will because they knew what was best for me. And I am not mad at anyone. I'm not disappointed in anyone. Could I feel like they could have done something different? Like if there was a holistic approach to psychiatry, that someone like me that didn't want to go on meds, if I had options, if someone listened to me and said, hey, let's do what she wants in that moment, I think that would have been great. And maybe I have to be an advocate for that. But because I was forced on medication and I didn't have anywhere to live, I was sent to the Luter House in Jefferson. I was locked up because I had to make sure I was putting that pill in my mouth every day. The pill that I didn't want to put in my body. And I finally left the mental hospital. The one thing I do want to say about people that are working in the mental hospital, just FYI, when people are in there, they don't want to talk about their future. They don't want to say, what are you going to do after this? How is this going to work? How is that going to work? They don't want to talk about that. All they want people to do in that one moment is be there in the now with them. Just FYI, anybody listening this that shares this, please pass that on to them. So I'm at the Luter House. I have a parking lot that I can go to, but it's out in nature. I was stuck at the mental hospital inside, closed off from everything. I was so thankful they brought dogs in so I could interact with dogs. So that was pretty great. The staff there, for the most part, were absolutely fantastic. They taught me so much about how to heal myself, my brain, everything. So thanks to them. So I end up at the Luter House, and to go to the Luter House, I only had the clothes that I came into the mental hospital. I didn't have any food. I didn't have any money. I didn't have anything. And I sat at their little table, scared. Like a kid that just doesn't have anywhere to go. Does anybody want me? Kind of thing. And the Luter House was fantastic. I do have to mention that when I lost reality, I didn't want to be called Jennifer anymore. I said Jennifer died, and now I became Rose. So during this whole experience, I was now Rose. So they took care of Rose. That was the reality, is Rose. And every single one of the people at the Luter House, thank you. If you get this message, Rose says thank you. They were my support system. They gave me unconditional love. They gave me unsolicited advice, like stuff I had to hear. Stuff that was tough. Like one of them said to me, Jen, you're too emotional. How is anybody going to listen to you if you're so up here? And I went walking into the parking lot and I was like, what do you mean? Like, look at where I am, that I can't be emotional. And then it sunk in. If you're so over the top when you talk to somebody, are they really listening? Or are they listening to your emotions? You can have emotions. You can be angry, you can be sad, you can be mad, but you don't have to be over the top. You have to calm yourself down so when you're talking to somebody, they're actually listening to what you're saying. But that bar none, great advice. So going back in, there's a lot more to the story, but I'm just going with the highlights that come in my head. But I finally reached out to people, and those people picked up the phone. So you know who you are. Thank you for doing that. Because I had to start trusting. I had to start trusting someone. I had to start reaching out. And this one person in particular, who who you are, I told my story to, of my spiritual experience, and you were the only person that believed me. And in that very moment, I needed to have one person believe me. And thank you for that. That really did help me. And in that conversation, I told her, I said, the spiritual experience is what it is, but I got to get my crap together. I got to get my kids. I got to figure stuff out. So this, whatever it was, is on the back burner. I'm getting myself in. So all this energy that I put into other people, I focus that entirely on myself. So everything that I've been through, I had to do it. I had to experience it. So one of the people that I finally called was my sister. And I want to thank her so much, because when I spoke to her, that was the first time that I felt unconditionally loved. She said that she didn't care what happened to me. She just cared about me and loved me. And in that moment, it was like a person in a desert looking for water, and she gave it to me. And I thank her for that, truly. I also have to thank her for healing my marriage, for opening that door for me, because she said what happened on my family's end. And I was like, no. So this is the point where Jennifer starts to wake up. Jennifer has to come back into reality. And so she opened the door, and I sent a text off to my husband, and I didn't realize I still blocked him because of all the lies that I was hearing. And he texted me back and he says, it's been 28 years, Jennifer. I'm not about to give up on you yet. And I can tell you, I had to trust someone explicitly. And my husband, as always, throughout my entire life and all my struggles, has picked up the call. He did. And we had a conversation, and Jennifer entered reality. And I can tell you that I was so scared. He told me what happened on their end, what they were experiencing. And as he was telling me, I believed every word that he said. And it made me scared for myself. But because of everything the mental hospital taught me, everything that the Luter House taught to me, having the support of my therapist, She has been fantastic. I have gained my confidence through her. She got me through my mom's funeral. I did not see my mom before she died because I was trying to repair myself. That week that she died, I was like, okay, I'm ready to see my parents, you know, like I'm doing better. And she passed away. But I got to her funeral, which, you know, I didn't think I was able to. But I truly want to thank my husband. I would not be here without his unconditional love, with him taking the reins a lot on responsibilities at the house. I want to thank my daughter for like just being there for me. I'm so glad that I've gotten to be here there for her. My 2 sons that, you know, are living in the house, I want to say thank you for forgiving me, for allowing me to grow with you. For my son and his wife and his children, my unconditional love is with you as well. I don't harbor any ill will towards anyone. I have come out on the other side of this, and so where I'm at right now is I went to a Hay House writers community, and I finally feel like I have a book to write. So I was totally immersed in the experience, but this life coach, Nancy Levin, I believe her name is, she was talking to me, and I was still hiding. I was still, no, here's my story, but I'm not claiming it. It's someone else's. The message is more important than me. And I realized that I am the message. So thank you for that, Nancy Levin. And so this is why I have come out today, because I am starting my business. I want to be a mental health advocate, a motivational speaker. I want to raise awareness towards taking care of yourself. I would call my philosophy the You University. I'm going to be doing newsletters once I get everything up and running. If anyone is interested in that, you can Facebook message me. I'll put you on the newsletter. And my company, if you listen to all this, is called Jennifer Rose. Because, not that I don't claim a Bradley, but Rose, she was there for 2 months. She was a reality. And Jennifer, for who I am now. So it's called Jennifer Rose. I want to thank all of you for listening to me. I want to thank the people that along the way, Amy at Twisted Grit. After this, I was so afraid of everybody. And she literally didn't ask me any questions, just embraced me and said, JB, welcome. And I had a safe place to go. And I thank her for that. I thank everybody that has been part of my journey. You know, every yoga instructor that was there, my Reiki master trainer, like all of these things that I've been through in my life. After I got out of the psychosis, I got out of the Luder house, I got back into the real world. I was afraid of everything. And I had to use that meditation course. I had to use my Reiki. I had to use my, just my go-to attitude, my yoga. I like every resource that I could possibly use to come back and be stronger. My book's actually called Lost Reality in Order to Find It. So thank you for everybody that's being here, listening to this. I know my story, there's more to it, but I wanted to share the highlight reel with you because I'm choosing in my story to share it, and that feels very free. I feel free. I haven't felt free. I've been a people pleaser all my life. I've been like just get her done, high stress, high anxiety living, and now I'm completely sober. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do pot. I am living only in my reality, and I am doing nothing to escape it. I'm living in it. And I'm not judging anybody for where they're at in life. I had to get to where I am with the tools and the tricks and the motivation that I've learned, and I hope to share that with everybody. And maybe my message helps them have courage to tell their stories too. So that's what I'm hoping, is that I can help people by sharing my story, by sharing some of the things that helped me back then, help me now, will help me in the future. But I thank you again for being here, and thank you again for loving me. You know, I haven't reached out to anybody really. I've closed myself off. I've lived in my safety bubble for a long time. And now I'm coming out, girls, boys, whoever's there. But I'm going to end this call with some breaths as I started this call. Just breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. Thank you for joining me. I love you all. Till the next time.